HOA Karen destroyed park speaker system, got sued and paid $150,000. The park was alive with laughter, the kind that only comes from a perfect summer evening, kids chasing fireflies, couples sharing picnic baskets, and the soft hum of jazz from the community speaker system tying it all together. Then, like a storm cloud bursting, Karen's voice sliced through the harmony. "This noise is a disgrace," she shrieked, her HOA badge glinting like a sheriff's star in a bad western. Karen, the self-appointed queen of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association, had a reputation. She wasn't just a stickler for rules, she was the rule, or so she thought. For months, she'd been waging war on the park's new speaker system, installed after a community vote to liven up events. To Karen, and it was an affront to her pristine vision of suburban silence. Never mind that the speakers were low volume, playing only during approved hours. Never mind that the neighborhood had raised funds for them through bake sales and car washes. Karen didn't care about consensus. She cared about control. That evening, as families gathered for the weekly movie night, Karen stormed into the park, her heels sinking into the grass like daggers. "Turn it off," she demanded, pointing at the small speaker mounted on a pole. The volunteer coordinator, a soft-spoken retiree named Clara, tried to explain, "Karen, it's just background music. Everyone voted for this." But Karen's face twisted, her eyes narrowing. "I didn't vote for it, so it doesn't count." The crowd began to murmur. A teenager filming on his phone caught Karen's tirade, her voice rising like a kettle about to boil over. Clara, ever patient, offered a compromise: lower the volume, but Karen wasn't here to negotiate. She grabbed a nearby garden trowel left by a volunteer planting flowers and, in a move that stunned everyone, began smashing the speaker. Plastic shards flew, wires sparked, and the music cut to a screeching halt. Gasps rippled through the crowd. A child burst into tears. Karen stood triumphant, trowel in hand, as if she'd slain a dragon. The next morning, the park was a different place. The broken speaker wasn't just a piece of equipment, it was a symbol of the community's effort. Now in ruins, word spread fast. By noon, a group of residents, led by Jamal, a local high school teacher and father of two, gathered at the community center to discuss what to do. Jamal wasn't one for confrontation, but Karen's stunt had pushed him over the edge. "This isn't just about a speaker," he said, his voice steady but firm. "It's about her thinking she's above us all." The group uncovered a pattern. Karen had bullied neighbors before fining one family for a non-compliant mailbox, threatening another over a basketball hoop. But the speaker incident was her boldest move yet. The community had paid $10,000 for the system, funded by months of grassroots effort. Replacing it would cost more, and the emotional toll was even higher. Clara, who'd spent hours organizing fundraisers, was devastated. "It was for the kids," she whispered, wiping her eyes. Then came the twist. A new face joined the meeting. Mr. Patel, a quiet widower who rarely spoke at gatherings, raised his hand. "I saw something last night," he said, his voice trembling. Karen didn't just break the speaker. She took a piece of it, a circuit board, and put it in her bag. The room fell silent. Was Karen planning to sabotage more equipment, or was this just her trophy? Proof of her victory. Either way, it was a bombshell. Mr. Patel's testimony, backed by the teenager's video, gave the group a spark of hope. They weren't just dealing with a tantrum, they had evidence. Jamal proposed action. "We sue her," he said, "not just for the damage, but for the message it sends." The group hesitated. Lawsuits were messy, expensive, but Clara, her grief turning to resolve, nodded. "She's gone too far. We can't let her keep doing this." They contacted a lawyer, Ms. Torres, known for taking on HOA disputes. She reviewed the video and Mr. Patel's account, her eyes gleaming. "This is a slam dunk," she said. "Karen's about to learn a hard lesson." The lawsuit filed against Karen was no small matter. The community sought $150,000, $10,000 for the speaker system, plus damages for emotional distress and legal fees. Karen, predictably, scoffed at the summons. "They'll never win," she told her husband, tossing the papers onto her marble countertop. She hired a flashy lawyer, confident her HOA authority would shield her. But the courtroom was no HOA meeting, and Karen wasn't in charge. The trial was a spectacle. The teenager's video played on a loop, Karen's trowel-wielding rampage drawing gasps from the jury. Mr. Patel's testimony about the stolen circuit board painted her as not just impulsive, but calculating. Jamal took the stand, his voice breaking as he described the park's importance to his kids, who'd lost their mother years earlier. "That speaker system was more than music," he said. "It was joy we built together. She took that from us." Karen's defense was a disaster. Her lawyer argued she was protecting property values by enforcing quiet, but the judge wasn't buying it. Karen's own testimony was worse. She rambled about her HOA duties, alienating the jury with her arrogance. When Ms. Torres cross-examined her, Karen snapped, "I'm the only one who cares about this neighborhood." The courtroom buzzed. Even her lawyer winced. The turning point came unexpectedly. A surprise witness, Mrs. Nguyen, a shy grandmother who'd lived next to the park for decades, took the stand. She hadn't been at the initial meeting, but she'd seen Karen skulking around the park days before the incident, inspecting the speaker with a notebook. She was planning it. "Mrs. Nguyen said softly, I heard her mutter about teaching them a lesson." This revelation that Karen's act was premeditated sealed her fate. The jury saw not just a tantrum but a vendetta. The verdict hit like a thunderclap. Karen was found liable for $150,000, every penny the community had asked for. The courtroom erupted in cheers as Karen sat, stunned, her face pale as the gavel fell. The judge didn't stop there. He issued a public reprimand, barring her from HOA leadership for 5 years. "Your actions," he said, "were a betrayal of the community you claim to serve." The aftermath was bittersweet. The community replaced the speaker system, and the park came alive again, louder and prouder than before. Jamal's kids danced to the music at the next movie night, their smiles brighter than the fireflies. Clara, once heartbroken, organized a thank you event for Ms. Torres and Mr. Patel, who'd become unlikely heroes. Even Mrs. Nguyen, usually reserved, joined the celebration, her quiet courage now a neighborhood legend. Karen, meanwhile, faced her reckoning. The $150 drained her savings, forcing her to sell her second car and downsize her lifestyle. Whispers followed her neighbors, who once feared her, now pitied her. She tried to appeal the verdict, but her lawyer dropped her, citing irreconcilable differences. The HOA, free of her grip, elected Clara as its new president. The park's speaker system, now upgraded, played a triumphant tune at her first meeting. But the story didn't end with Karen's defeat. The community, galvanized by their victory, started a petition for stricter HOA oversight. They wanted to ensure no one could abuse power like Karen had. The teenager's video went viral on X, sparking debates about entitlement and community spirit. Posts flooded in, some called Karen a villain. Others questioned if the lawsuit was too harsh. The conversation grew, with thousands weighing in on justice, accountability, and the price of pride. What do you think? Was the community right to sue Karen for $150,000, or did they go too far? Share your thoughts. Let's talk about where justice lies in this messy human story.